Daniel Prey recording for the Eportfolio. The final. The end. I can see the light. You can see my activities here. District, elementary, secondary. My administration verification. 1, 2, and 3. The elementary principal, Scott Harshbarger, the high school principal, Eric Koppis, and the superintendent, Kevin Logan. A paper that was created, 33 articles, related back to each question, 3 articles apiece, the summary, the assessment, the reflection, along with cited sources. My highlight video that I'm doing now, and into our activities we go. First up is the district. I'm going to go through what the activities were and how they kind of applied to the standards. Conduct an evaluation for our existing mission. Site council is very important for the district as a mission. In fact, you have to pass your site council, and they offer you ways to improve. So our job was to focus on relevance and relationships. I actually got to speak during this meeting and give some input, so it was a good thing that I got to sit in on that. Very important for the future of our school. Next up, Kagan demonstration here, using practices, resources, and service that support student learning. Demonstration, if you click on that right there, it'll take you to the Kagan demonstration that is specific for cheers, probably more geared towards elementary and middle school. The high school probably wouldn't use this. Next up, a demographics meeting that I was a part of with my district curriculum director, gather information about our families in our district. Very good information and public knowledge also. That was nice to see. Attendance rates, makeup of the district, all kinds of numbers that would be helpful here. Interest-based bargaining member. This is my 3rd year now. Lots of hours over the last 2 years, 3 hours at a time. You can see the different dates. We just had our last meeting last night, and then we have another one next week also. But evaluating resources that we need, teachers need. Kagan coaching form here, providing teacher staff with actionable feedback. This is definitely one that is near and dear to my heart. Enjoy Kagan coaching. You can see to the right, filling this out for her. She was nice enough to give this back to me and giving her specific praises and specific feedback for her to try. So the comment is, this will allow for more ideas, and I circled what she could do in the future, and I also would go up and talk to her about that. So that would be it for our district. Going to the elementary, where I spent most of my activities, as I want to be an elementary principal. First one up was in a class that we took, and I brought it back to my school, taught my staff. So improving existing processes. Well, we didn't really have a process, so I brought this to St. George Elementary, and then I brought it to Westmoreland Elementary also, thinking about our digital citizenship, creating, sharing with teachers, and sharing with students also. Model ethical practices, second step program, very good. Did this with a lot of teachers, did this with a lot of kids also. Lessons every week throughout the school year and several school years before that. Specific, scripted, great program, great way to get this in here. Something that I did recently was end of the year COVID celebration. My administrator was looking to to take this off his plate, so I said I would step up, develop strategies for improving school culture, and we just had one of the best times, and afterwards everyone was so appreciative of this, and you can see the photos there, the cars and myself as it was superheroes. I chose the Hulk. Sport News differentiated content-based instruction. This would be a spelling program that myself and a couple others researched in 2018, where the pilots worked their way and brought into the classroom. And then from St. George, I brought it to Westmoreland also, taught my constituents, definitely differentiated between lower spellers, at grade level spellers, and above spellers, giving them different lists through one of the tests, and this is one of those. Use research to evaluate quality of assessments during learning. FastBridge was something that we learned about this past year, making FastBridge assessments, combined curriculum-based measures, and adaptive tests for reading, math, and social emotional. So what was I doing? I was assessing, evaluating, training, and implementing all of these targeted assessments. So afterwards, we would get this data, and we would be able to place kids specifically and look what skills they were missing. Leader will use technology and performance, monitor, analyze, implement. So progress monitoring was the activity I used for this, and this chart shows you where a kid would be reading at their rate. Gives me data through the use of technology to monitor, analyze, and implement. My initial assessment, and then I got to track them throughout the year. School leader would develop a plan for identifying and accessing resources. I created an outline of the curriculum for Westmoreland Elementary, K through 4, as 5th and 6th grade will be leaving us next year. And you can see right here the different things that we're doing in reading, writing, and still continuing document here. As you can see, there are holes in spelling and grammar, and gives us some good discussion for the future. School leader will develop a school's master schedule, something that I did this year specifically to cover this standard. This was the schedule that I put together. For next year, there were 2 schedules put together, and then we voted on them, and you can see the different pieces that we have with core reading, math, and all this. Very time consuming, trying to get everybody best case scenario. Very tough one was. The school leader will evaluate resources needed. Currently, Westmoreland needs a grammar and a writing program. Could have used either, could have used both. I chose the writing program to put on here. Researching what the best one would be. I like the 6+ trait writing, presenting, trying to get buy-in, and then implementation for next year. Currently the process that we're going through right now. Leader will model and foster effective communication through Life Skill Tuesday is what I chose on this one. Every week a teacher models effective communication, maybe through a skit, presentation, or reading. I brought in 2 of my campers from Fuse, an adults with muscular dystrophy camp. They spoke, I spoke, and I've done several of these throughout the year. The school leader will observe teaching in a variety of classrooms. I am a Kagan coach. I go in, I observe, I model, I do all kinds of different things. In this activity, I enjoyed working with these 2 students. We then sent this video to Westmoreland Elementary, and they watched it with their students, and the teachers watched it themselves. Then I would come in and observe them and give them some feedback also, but write a lot of good things down. There's the end of my elementary, skipping the reflection for a minute. I'll come back to it. On to the secondary. First one up here, a little bit more with the Kagan. School leader would develop and implement a plan to support the improvement process. We had a Kagan sign-up sheet on the wall, and I'm at all the different buildings. And teachers would come in and sign up. The high school had a very difficult time signing up, remembering to sign up. So I was able to develop a new way to improve this process through signing up the Kagan coaches to come in. And you can see the different times. So when we send this email out, high school teachers were able to sign up and send it back right away. School leader will engage in reflective practices, professional norms. This is where all of our case studies come in. I was able to reflect on an issue, missing money. This is my finance case study. Practice professional norms. At all of my case studies, I was able to talk with my administrators, get some take on what they would do, and then I would analyze, assess, and put together my presentation. Leader will evaluate ethical dimensions of issues. So this is the leadership case study. I was able to evaluate an ethical issue. Talked about having a teacher overhearing a student talking about a gun, and then the events that happened after, how they were handled, what went wrong, what was right, and going on from there. The school leader will advocate for access to educational resource, procedures, opportunities. Special ed case study I used here, feel like it fits very well. Student was not being treated equitable. He did not have access to his educational rights. So we were to analyze and see what went wrong, what they could have done better, and how we could fix the situation. School year proposed design and implement for high quality, technology rich curriculum for support for academic and non-academic programs. So I went the non-academic here in my wrestling program. I designed and implemented high quality, technology rich ways for students to reflect, evaluate, and improve their non-academic wrestling skills. And we continue to do this. We upload the videos, they watch them, we're able to analyze them in and out of practice. We'll collaboratively engage diverse community members, partners, and other constituents around a shared goal. The community relations case study fits very nicely here. Engage the community collaboratively towards a shared goal, parents and staff working together here, analyzing, again, what happened, what went wrong, and what does the future look like. School leader will effectively evaluate situations and policies in regards to legal, ethical, and equity. This would be a school law case study. I was able to identify some policies that were unethical, illegal, and then I also talked with my admin team to identify where we could go from here. Assistant wrestling coach interview process was this one for the school leader to evaluate applicant materials that I got to sit in with my athletic director and go through the process. And then the school leader will evaluate professional capacity needs and management practices, supervision and evaluation case study in this one, able to evaluate professional staff needs and manage practices through understanding the situation. Also talked to my admin team, and we went from there. So we needed to give a teacher some more feedback here before releasing her or not releasing her from her teaching position. Have about a minute and a half here to finish up with my reflection. Made me think very deeply. I'm sure you'll look into this, but a couple of highlights from this. And it's not popping up at the moment, but I just wrote it so I can tell you that before coming into this, I was thought like a teacher. There, it kind of popped up there. Thought like a teacher, walked like a teacher, acted like a teacher, and now I would say, so that was my number one. Number two, after being in the program, I'm starting to think, act, and answer like a administrator. I think it's important for teachers to continue their education and pursue an administrative degree, even if they're not going to use it. It's apparent that we as teachers don't focus all the time on the big picture. It's also apparent that communication and relationships are the most important. Going forward as a new administrator, I want to keep this in the front of my brain. These, my students, my staff, and my stakeholders, that is my mission. I want them to grow, I want to buy in new ideas, but I have to keep that relationship piece. I think that's one of the biggest things that I got out of this. 15 seconds left. You can see the classes, the activities, and all the data. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I look forward to you on July 8th.